Yep. Yo, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a very special guest.
She's a recent college grad,
She's a mentor to young adults,
and she cares about both our dumb asses.
and I still don't know why. Today we bringing Alayzha Jordan to the classroom.
Class is in session.
Oh.
It's scholarships for everything. You just
Yeah,
gotta
viola, they need tennis, right?
Shoot, there's somebody giving $5,000 a year if your parents went to jail.
Really?
Yeah, that's a real scholarship.
What if I won't even went to jail for parking tickets?
Jail is jail.
Jail is jail.
Jail,
Nate like,
prison, county
oh, that's
jail.
fucked up. Nate like,
I'm on the phone with my mama like, why you ain't never get locked up? That's $5,000 I could have had every year. She like, bitch, that's not my problem.
Nate was like, oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's like $5,000 a year every
Oh.
year. If your
Oh.
parents got locked up, it's called N or something.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, damn. Ain't no application.
Ain't nothing.
It ain't nothing. It's just
if they
damn near
went to jail.
the criminal record is what you got to put on the application.
Yeah, I'm gonna call on my mama. She parallel parking.
You hear me? You finna get locked
Is
up.
it? She parallel. Her tags are bad.
Like, man, just go in for the weekend. Just get locked up on Friday. That's it.
All right.
Maybe that's that. The city kids, the country kids, they just let them starve. I don't know.
Just let 'em start. I
That's news
think
to me.
I really think that is. I really think that is disproportionate. Like, is that? Am I saying it right? Disproportionate.
This unfortunate,
No, disproportionate. Like they
disproportional.
yeah, like they go more to the black kids than they
Oh, okay.
than
Disproportionate.
the rural areas.
Yeah.
I really think so. Am I correct on that? Like, it's not too many programs for.
Yeah, I mean, you have more people. You got more people in cities. You got more people. Possible talent. So it's just because it's just a numbers game.
Oh, shit,
So, yeah.
everything is a number.
Which I mean, talk about numbers. So, Alayzha, you work with a number.
Hold on, can I do this? And action.
It's called the slate.
Yeah, you gotta synchronize everything. We good?
Oh, and the camera's on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did action. You messing up my action.
Do it again, Jay.
Action.
There we go. So, Miss Alayzha, you work with a number of high school students. What? What was that?
Go ahead.
So, you work with a number of high school students. What does it alarm you or surprise you the things you see in regards to their preparation to college or just general, livelihood, I guess?
Like the way the school handles it?
Yeah, how the school handles it, how they handle the students versus, and you can compare it to your experience in high school. Just does it alarm you what you're seeing in high schools, and you can, if you want to be specific to how they're getting ready for college. Are you alarmed at all?
No, I'm not alarmed because I was in the same system, so like it just translate over. I think like the insider look, because I'm trying not to be too specific.
Well,
'Cause
we
I
could.
have-
I think we could talk about the difference between, well, in St. Louis, city schools versus county schools, or schools in better neighborhoods versus schools in, a little bit poverty-stricken neighborhoods.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's very alarming because they just don't. I don't know who. Like, I don't want to put blame on anybody because I don't know who is really to blame. I think it's
The
like
man.
a system thing. The white man. I don't want to put any labels on who's to blame, but it's definitely a thing of like certain kids are more ready.
Mm-hmm.
I know I wasn't ready. I mean, I made it thankfully, but like I was not ready to go to school when I went to school. And I'm looking at the level of just like how I wasn't ready. And like I'm seeing that there are students that are even less prepared, which is like, that's the alarming part. And it's like, it's part way. Like, I feel like it's blame to be placed at every level without being too specific from
Okay.
what I've learned. I guess level by like
Yeah, because
student, teacher, like
Mm-hmm.
administration, like district, government. Like I think it's just like it's like every level,
Mhm.
and I don't really have any insight on like where to start, where to fix it because I don't know. But the what it comes down to is that like our poverty stricken neighborhoods, like our less fortunate kids who 9 times out of 10 tend to be kids of color are not ready
Okay.
for what is to come when it comes to going to college, which is just it in and that's how kind of like poverty like kids from these backgrounds end up being those same kids that we talked about that are leaving schools with no
Mhm.
degree but pockets full of debt. Like this education they couldn't have afforded anyway. Like now they didn't finish, and now they have more bills
Mhm.
with no way to really make better money to pay off extra,
Mm-hmm.
which I feel like is like that messed up cycle that
Mm-hmm.
kids often get into more often than not. And I think that is why there are plans being put in place to help forgive some students with debt. I know, I mean, just to be super specific, like my sister,
Mhm.
one of my sisters, like I never graduated, but like she is 40 something, like maybe pushing 50 in about 4 years, and she's still paying off debts.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's still, ducking and dodging the loan officers.
Mm. Okay.
And I don't exactly know what went wrong in her case or why she didn't finish or anything like that. But it's just like she is definitely not the only one. She's definitely not an exception. Like she's almost the rule, which is kind of the problem that I see and what shocks me. And kind of like why I don't know if I can do anything like myself within my person, but kind of just like raising that awareness that like there is a problem. It's not that our students or our kids are dumb
Mm-hmm.
because they're not. It's just I think it's a level of them not applying themselves and also the pressure not being applied. And like I think it's definitely a thing on both levels, which is why I'm like I don't want to put specific blame on any one person or any
Mhm.
one institution. Um
It's just the system is not working.
yeah, the system is just not working.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very sad cuz you see a lot of people who like, given the right tools, you know, they could do a lot. I mean like I don't like,
Mm-hmm.
given some nails and a hammer, we can build a treehouse. But it's like if you don't teach these kids how to build a treehouse, or like you teach them how to build a treehouse, but like don't help them get the tools, then like we're
Right.
not gonna build it. And like that is what is so I don't want to say depressing, but it is very sad the trap that a lot of poverty stricken kids or even just like low income
Now,
kids.
does the same, I would say, problems plague the rural grade school?
I don't think. Yeah. Well, the one of the things I thought was even crazy because not a fancy school. You're I guess a good school, but again, it's just rural. Not many like, but
Mhm.
like even the attendance was something that like shocks me because like for reference, like can you say just about how big your just high school is that you mentor? Like just student base, so I can just comparison.
500.
500 total. Mine was like because we did combined schools, so it got
Mhm.
big. High school, it was I think right at 1,000 because we had a few cities and that kind of thing. But like,
So you had a town. That was
no,
like,
yeah,
that
you
wasn't
know,
a
town.
high
Yeah,
school.
but you had
Like,
to you had to come in. Yeah, it's like different,
Okay.
yeah, a bunch of different, yeah, because
so everybody.
yeah,
went to
everybody, yeah, everybody.
Okay.
So, but no, when you talk attendance, I would say not under 900. Every like at least 900 kids were there every day. Like attendance was like a thing. Like you weren't out. Where when you tell me your attendance, like it's sometimes not even half that type of thing, which is the surprising point. Because that wasn't the problem. Like it was, keeping kids, trailer parks and that kind of thing, like keeping them out of trouble. But school was kind of our safe spot. that was kind of my safe spot. So we'd go there because that's where you see your friends. Like, but that was our thing. So in the rural community, it's different.
So in the rural community, the schools almost like the mall for us. It was where you guys go and networked and well, I should say network friends and got into trouble, didn't get into trouble,
Yeah, because we didn't have anything outside of it. Because
Right.
like the best place to go outside of school was like Taco Bell. Like that was it. Like yeah,
900 kids at Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's one of those things where it's like if you Walmart's the best thing you ever see, that kind of
Right.
thing. So like school, that's where like we didn't want to miss. Like we would, especially when we were seniors, like we'd have half days
Mhm.
and stuff like that. We'd sleep in, but even if I slept in,
Right.
I would still come. I might be an hour or two late. I'd
Right.
still come because it was my safe spot. But-
So, like I grew up, I had a chance to go to all three school districts, right? Jenny's, Pattonville, and Lindbergh, right? And in the inner cities, it's so much to do. School is always second mind if you're a
Yeah.
trouble kid or you're really not a great student. Like we had Hazelwood Day. Like everybody would ditch and go to Six Flags. Like literally.
Yeah, it's
Like-
so different. It's so
like
different, yeah.
so like school was always a second thought.
Yeah.
Especially. It was more, so just me personally, when I was coming up in the school systems, they were getting you ready just to get out. They were passing you through grades.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Due to the whole no
Left.
child is left behind, it was like, we know that you're not getting this material,
Mhm.
but the government's saying that we can't let you fail either. So therefore, we're just going to keep pushing you, and then push you out. And then when you become 18, now you're the world's problem, right? So if you didn't understand algebra or even, you're reading on a 4th grade level,
Right.
that's your issue now.
Yeah.
Right. And that was crazy because I went from Jenny's to Pattonville where they cared a little bit more. It was a better neighborhood. I was like, oh, you actually give a fuck if I do my homework. Like you actually collected it. Like, oh, okay. Then I went to a better school, Lindbergh, and I was like, oh, I got in-school suspension if I don't pay attention. And I'm not saying that school district, one school district is not handling their business and the other school district is not. I'm just saying it was different levels and different expectations depending on what schools that you actually went to.
Yeah.
And I think that all comes from, the better school districts get the better teachers. They're going to hold you to a higher standard. I think that gets the better environment. Hey, the school that I went to in Jenny's, unfortunately, the only programs that they really could offer was the basketball program, the football program, but not too much else.
Okay.
Like their music program, they had for a couple years, they had to, bring that in because they didn't have enough money to continue it. So there wasn't a lot of outlets in the inner city schools for kids that were just trying to find their way of the educational background, as well as if you wasn't an athlete. So it's a lot of kids that was in that gray area. Like I'm an okay student and I'm an okay athlete, but I'm not going to get a scholarship for being an athlete. And I don't play any instruments and I don't have straight A's. I got straight C's. So
Okay.
those typically the kids that just fell to the wayside, but that was like 70%. Yeah. And even the kids that graduated with A's from Jenny's, right?
Yeah.
When they went to college, shit. You know what I mean? Like
It's
then
a wake up call.
you really stand next to your peers and you really see how far behind or how ahead of your peers you really are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to my school, I was like, I think the highest math that was offered was like trig.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like going to schools and it was like first years. I'm like, yeah, like I'm thinking about taking foundations of calculus because like I just want to be sure I got myself together. And then it was other people that was like on Calc 3.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, I mean, like, I took Calc 3 in high school, but I'm just making sure, like, I know it
Yeah.
before. And I'm like, excuse me?
The option wasn't even there.
Like, the option of Calc, like, it was there, but it was just like, you had to do something extra somewhere prior, like years prior, in order to get into AP Calculus. But then it was like, I even heard that, like, in the AP Calculus class that was offered at the school I graduated from, even the teacher was getting confused. Like, so it was like, you know, how great is my instruction? Like, you know, even if
Okay.
that was me, I would have been in Calc 1 again, because I'm like, I don't know how certain I was. But it was like, it was people doing Calc 3 because, like, just for the heck of it. And I'm just like, well, I'm trying to do the math of, like, where did you start with your math? Like, where
I
did
did
y'all
it in my
start?
head, but you got to show your work.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, algebra, then it's geometry, then it's algebra 2, and then it's trig. So how did you get to Calc 3? Where did you start? When did you start algebra? You know, and that's just like the curriculum. Like, it's just
It's different.
they just different. And it's like, you know, just like even with the ACT, like they kind of touch it, but like not in the ways that like other school districts are able to touch it. Like in other school districts, like sometimes like it's a class
Oh, yeah.
dedicated to it. And I know, and a lot of times, you know, with myself, I was like in the 24 range.
Mhm.
And they was like, good enough, sis.
Right.
You know, like, I don't really know how to help you get anything higher.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't, like, that's
Yeah.
my base. Like, that was my base. I started off with a 24 and I never got anything higher than that. So it was like, I didn't know how to grow because they was trying to help people just get up to 21. Like, that was where their focus was at.
I think
They
the
like,
average was 16.
for schools?
Yep, like the average SAT score for inner city in St. Louis, I think
Yeah, it's like a 16.
it was 16.
Okay.
It's
like
16.
first time taking it, no practice, 16.
Okay. Yeah, because when I first took it, I took it 3 times, 21, 22, 23.
Show off.
Yeah.
No, because I was like, they made fun of me.
Yeah,
Because like 21, like, you a dumbass. I'm like, fine, study again. Here's another $200 for this test. Oh, I only got 1 point more. All right, here you go again, like that.
It was $200 back then?
It was It was over the $100 mark easy. I think it was 165, 200. Like it was, and I had to pay it. And I'm like,
My school had the school
It
I
is
graduated from.
$45. It is $45. I don't
What?
know what
Really?
you
they
took.
made it expensive for us.
They
That's
were
what,
just stealing. They were stealing the money off the top
I'm
end.
about to say it was $45.
there's never a formal test that I've taken that's been like less than $100.
$45.
So,
Really?
yeah.
So like the school I graduated from, thank God I graduated from this thing. Lindbergh, alumni, Flyers, yeah. They literally had a class. Like you didn't have to pay anything. Now I didn't attend the class. Shame on me. But yeah, you had a class because we had, and the school, how can I put it? It was the after school class, right?
Okay.
And it was just teachers that are wanting to see their students do better,
Mhm.
right? But Lindbergh paid these teachers good money. So these schools are just like companies. You know, the best companies are going to be the ones that produce the best product, but they pay the best. The
Mhm.
schools that are paying their teachers nothing, well, if you do got a good teacher there, she's going to get burnt out.
Yeah.
Because she's got to do more with less. How
Or even
long is
pick up a
that going to
second
last?
job.
It's not going to last 30 years, right? She got to do more with less, where when you get the other schools, they're going to pay you more and you have to do less.
Yeah.
So therefore, you can feed into more kids. Yeah,
Is Lindbergh's public?
Yep, Lindbergh's public.
Okay.
I think along doing more with less. Like the inner city teachers, they kind of got to take on like that secondary trauma.
Mhm.
Because I mean, like, I have never lived in Lindbergh, but like, I'm just going to take a wild guess that like, they don't deal with the type of struggles that more inner city kids will typically deal with, like getting abused at home or like not having food when you go home or being homeless, like as yourself, or whether be it as yourself as a child or like your whole family is homeless, you know, or like people getting shot, like,
Yeah.
and
Like-
dying and losing people, or like, you know, losing another student, like,
Mhm.
and it's that type of extra trauma that I think I'm very thankful that the inner city teachers do you know, kind of sometimes take on that extra trouble, but it's like, you know, they're not therapists, they're not being paid to be therapists, but it's like they taking on the extra weight and they still got to teach a lesson. And it's like it's kids coming in and like they come in and they go straight to sleep. And why is that? Like, because their parents have been arguing and yelling all night, or like they just got put out last night. And so they've been walking the street and just got sent to school so they could get a meal, you know? So, yeah, today they're tired. And it's like those inner city teachers have to sometimes stop what they're doing and check in on these kids, which is like, I think is amazing. I think it's great. But I don't think, you know, in a lot of cases, they get that recognition that they should. Because I mean, like, even with the college process with my school, like, we definitely have a community of where, like, we are searching for these kids. We looking for these kids to see what they're doing. Like, we going that extra mile. Whereas, like, at Lindbergh, you didn't have to search for nobody to see if they wanted to go to school. You didn't have to see what was going on.
no.
Like, they was coming to you.
Yeah.
It was a different world going
Yeah.
from Jenny's to Lindbergh.
Yeah, and it's like those teachers are putting in that extra level of care that these kids need, which I feel like, you know, I don't know the money, I don't know the way it works, but like, I feel like they sometimes deserve just as much, if not more, than the teachers, you know, who work in these more affluent communities, because they do take on those extra hats of like mom, dad, brother, auntie. You know, like there are some teachers I know who have taken kids in the past that were struggling. And it's like, they don't get extra money for that.
Yeah.
They don't get an extra paycheck. They don't get any hours off. They don't get any days off. They expect you to carry on and make that same amount, but like do all that extra work. And it's like, no, the school does not specifically ask you to do that, but like these people care so much, they take on that hat, which, you know, is amazing. Because it's some teachers that like, I'm like, I would not be here today if they didn't stop in and check on me and make sure I was good.
Right.
So.
Okay. That's why teacher discounts mean a lot.
They need 50% off.
They need 50% off. But yeah. Look, I'm going to do the whole thing and I'm going to go, yeah, that was a good take. Today, ladies and gentlemen, how do we introduce her? Don't look at her. Because she's a friend. She's a family. But, no, I fucked up.
I don't even know if we want, not recent. Well,
You fucking it up. I forgot you don't have rhythm. You see what I'm working with right here. All right. I'm a diamond, Nate.
Yeah, you gonna beat my ass. Ladies is judging the fuck out of us.
She can. Yeah, that is trauma. Ladies and gentlemen, today, I don't know, just ask some shit. We know where we're going. Like, we have a very special guest.
Where do you go? Where are you going after this one?
This is how rappers come up with hits. Hits, Nate, hits. She's a college grad, and she had the common sense to get on our show.
Recent college grad. Whoa, what the f?
Ladies and gentlemen, today is the day.
Are you looking at yourself?
Do you want me to look at myself or do you want me to look at the camera?
Look at the camera.
So today, this video is going to be like and subscribe because you motherfuckers ain't been liking and subscribing.
What is the problem?
I'm just saying, like my videos. Like them. Please. I'm begging you.
This is where I'm fucking leaving.
You just don't know how long it took us to just shoot this clip right here. And I still don't know if I was looking at the camera or the screen above the camera.